Welcome. What is this channel about? 3 people ask me, what is this channel about? Can I ever say what this channel is about? It's about me. It's about me with no face. With absolutely no face. Well, just a little face. If they come in here either as looking like a clown or sophisticated, and maybe I should just be changing my hat. Or I come from India, and I'm fitting the part of the philosophical, whatever the English word is. Why do we need religion? Why do we need torches? I was going to say churches, but I'm saying torches. Why do we have Church's chicken? Why did Mama Bear have Mama Bear's chicken? And we talked about the sweet honey. It was orange and brown. How do we get these 2 colors? I talk about the amalgamated minds of the world, alone and intertwined through man's way of trying to figure out the numeric value of everything, even if you think you're not. Because you gave it a definition and you placed it in the dictionary under page whatever. And if we're talking about Webster's, it's a little bit more important that I should bump into a Webster's and see how many pages, but not how many pages, but what page is in the middle of all the pages. Because I know somehow if I don't mark the preface, that can still be noted as page 1. When does page 1, or does every section of the book get a page 1? Until the beginning of the book, of the story, of the paragraph that you are in, on page 1. Unless page 1 just has the, you know, when we watch all these movies and they give you the name of this movie, but the name of this movie, but the name of this movie. But really the book is about Stephen King, Cormac McCarthy, John Grisham, Robert E. Howard, people who wrote Burt's, Elmore Leonard, Philip K. Dick, Blade Runner. There is a numeric value because they showed me 10 authors whose books made great movies. So they're taking B for books and M for love. Well, that's if you're French. Are you a French person listening to this? So everything gets a classification and a number, and it fits somewhere because of what has been mentioned by someone else. Someone else that I bumped into in my mind, put forward the information through. Imagine if I was the only car on the road. Everything you would see and write it down as I drive down the road 500 feet. And if I put 100 different people, we are not going to all see, okay, if we ask for 10 things, we're not going to see all the 10 things. By the time the 100 people pass in that car choosing 10 items, are we going to end up with 10 of the same items? Or are we going to end up with the maximum of 1,000? So we know the minimum is 10, we know the maximum is 1,000. Because when people start doubling up, that maximum gets smaller when they only have a choice of 10. If you have a recipe to bake something, will your cake come out as a banana cake? If you don't use any bananas, then why call it a banana cake and just you're a quackhead? Banana cake, quackhead, tick-tock, the mouse and the clock, the cat chased the mouse. Elephant, was the cat chasing the mouse? Was the elephant running from the mouse because he was scared, but the mouse wasn't trying to scare the elephant? Oh my God, I'm bringing the spirit into my head. The information from the Holy Ghost is coming into my head. I am seeing things and perceiving with the mouse in this world, and it's all scaring me because of what I fabricated and what I learned into my, should I say, my hard drive, my downloads, because you can get rid of downloads in life. But do you ever get rid of the, you know, you have a section here and all these sections, you had a bad experience, and that bad experience, how long into your life will that bad experience stay, and how will it work on your everyday choices? Okay, and I started off with religion because religion gives you one of those bases. Watch out for the devil. Now, why are we watching out for the devil? Why is the judge black and white and the devil is red? Why is the white blood cell and the red blood cell inside our body, and then the other blood cells, are there pink blood cells? And what gives you more cancer cells and why? Wait a second. Is it a cell or is it a jail to what they call apps, which is a series of pieces and parts of numeric values and tits and tods and bits and whatever of movement of energy that will let somebody sending out that code into there saying, look what it looks like. The human eye, this is how it perceives, so this is how we build. Who am I? What do I do? I like to take geometric shapes and possibly place them in a game or ask a numeric question about it. Can you see the cube in here? 3 sides? You see the cube in here? You see a Cuban? All I see is some geometric shapes. There ain't no Cubans here. They may be in Cuba. Maybe there'd be some Cubans in Miami. So now we've got Cubans in Cuba. We've got Cubans in Miami. So Cuba. So now we have to think of the cube. Now we have to think of the Islam. Now we have to understand the value of the cube, and we have to intertwine something about Miami. Miami's beach, EA equaling to O, which automatically, when you have, instead of EA and you just put in O, you have BO, you have 215, and that's the first part of memory. Well, actually, memory breaks down 16 by 16. Okay, that's the first 7th gate. 16, 1 and 6, 7, 1 and 6, 7. You minus it, right? From the 6 you become 5, you get 57, and that's the numeric value for the moon. Also, the numeric value for the word in the replica letters of the alphabet. Looks more like a crown like this, which is Heinz. H and I. H and I, hey. H and I, ashes and dust. Hey. Burning up. The radiation filtering inside of you, digitally telling you something. And either you receive it as the Holy Ghost and great information, and I'm thinking now, or I'm learning, or I'm organizing, or I haven't come down to earth yet and I'm only 1 month old. And all this is starting to just build inside of me. As I breathe, do I get my size conformation through the earth and the seed that I am? Or are there constant incoming of numeric values that are repairing your body? Should you be so holy that your body is repaired for life and forever? Or just to come down and be reborn again? Is something science hasn't figured out yet. But numerically, you can't do that because we have all the elements. Humans are still living. If a human still lives, how can we can take that information? Can we get it into this old soul and rebuild from the inside, starting with the heart? But it has to be a perfect soul to be rebuilt because it needs the proper information from the spirit coming into your body. Anybody just open the video right now? Try and remember how I started this conversation. I'm trying to go on if you're writing a book, this is the book, my friends. Don't change what I'm saying, because you don't go into a movie and say, no, that ain't possible. You have to go into that movie and say, that's ridiculous, it can never happen, it's impossible, because you can actually figure it out yourself. But if you can't figure it out yourself, but you are a geek, and you know how computer language works, and you can build what you can build in a computer, and the size of something that you built, and what the perception and what somebody else sees. Forget it, let's separate. What you can build, I am. But I am the flesh. Do I have any iron in my body? Any radiation? Vitamin D? How does vitamin D, okay, before it becomes vitamin D in me, what was it before? Is there somehow that vitamin D is in a piece and part or an element in metal or somewhere that can be used in a computer? Somewhere? I know there must be. There's gotta be. There's gotta be something, some likelihood, or Maybe if you just plug it in, you get electricity. Am I a little bit of electricity? Am I? Oh. Am I the wiring that if you hook an electrical up here and up here, I'll feel it through my body? So I must be somehow electrical. Unless you want to call it water electric systems. And what is the water electronic? I like to call it electrodes. And then all of a sudden I can say, do I have enough electrolytes in me? So now I have to understand what electrolytes mean, but I don't want to right now. So I'm just going to say either we have water, and it's following that flow of the water, or the information in the beat of that water that sends that shock from somewhere in my body, or let's try it from the foot, all the way up my foot somewhere into my head. The electrical system. Let's keep the wires cool, because if the wires fry, you think all your memory is up here? The lungs, you know, when the heart is a little weak, it can't. This lady I know very well, sort of, she's having problems. She's in the hospital. She's got water on her lungs because her heart. So what does that mean? Is that the information from your breathing, is that water goes onto your lungs, and does it serve information? Is it electrical pulses that is in it? And you breathe. So when you're breathing, is it your lungs that push the blood into your heart, or is it your heart? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm breathing, I'm bringing it in, I'm pushing the water this way, forcing the blood that way into the heart, and the heart's muscles is compounding and going backwards and shoving it back the other way. So you're breathing in and you're breathing out, you're breathing in, and the heart is pushing the blood, but it's the water of the breath that you take in the lungs that pushes also the blood, but through the expansion in the water that are around the veins, okay, or in the mind that cool everything off, okay, and it pushes back the blood the other way. Or is it the heart that's pumping? Is the heart only pumping out? How does it get into the heart? It goes into the heart and back out of the heart. Is it the same blood going back out of the heart, or does the blood go into the heart and out another way? And we continue that cycle. It only makes sense. It can't go back. It's not going down your vein, and as it starts to go down, you push back up. So I'm assuming, and I have to think, that you have a main blood thing in, and you squish it the other way out. I'd really like to know. I've definitely, don't make me think that I'm dumb to this. Of course I'm dumb. I can look it up and find out, but I didn't. So I don't know. I can only guess. And if I can tell you what makes sense to me, and then by what makes sense to me, you might say, hey, the guy's got a little bit of a head on his shoulder because it makes sense to him. And then I could have read it and made it up. And then I'd be even smarter that I fooled most of the people, or half the people. Some of the people I know, some of the people, or a few of the people. But it's just the one that I don't have to fool, that I can explain to the rest of the people that are interested how I fooled them all. So all you need is one. So how do we get back to what I was talking about? Is why is the devil red? Why is the devil red? Why is the devil red? Or is it only the vampire? Because you see in most of the vampire movies, some of the vampire movies, you see the red, and it could be for the blood. So if the devil's red, the vampire red, they're talking about the blood, they're talking about the red blood, and they got black. Do they have any white anywhere? Is the white the judgment of which side they took a judgment to make me red in the face? Red? Does red mean stop or red mean go? Because right now at the bottom of my screen, it says 13 minutes, 47 seconds, and the light is red. So if I stop it, will it be green for go? Yes, it means red means it's going, and green means it's stopped. That's what it seems to be on the screen, or there is no other color. White is for stop. I'm going to have to see when the video is over. So I wanted to get back to these shapes that I was talking about. Did we ever figure out why the devil is red? Red is number 27. 2 times 7, 2 plus 7 equals to the word when a big red sun. Because the 2 and 7 is the total of 9, it's a total of 5. If you minus and you add it, the B is 2 is a B, and the 7 is a G. You created the 9th letter, so you now have big. The total of 9, 7 times 2 and 14. 7 plus 2, 9. Total of 23 minus. Okay, minus 14 equals 0.5, which is the E for the E-World. E-World Link Connect, E-Spirit, Spirit. Whatever you want, 2, 1, 2, 1 and 2, 3 and 2, beta creation. Let's not talk about it right now. So now you have the total letter 23, 14 and 9, 23 for the letter W. You have the I for the 9, and you have the 14th letter for the N. So you now have the word win. You now have win big. The sun is numeric value 54. Number 14, 1 times 4, 1 plus 4 equals 54. 1 times 4 is 4, 1 plus 4 is 5, 45 is fox. F-O-X, the 6th letter, the 15th letter for the O. 1 and 5 is 6, and the X, the 24th letter. 2 and 4 is 666. And you create that. Win a big red sun fox. Now when you say sun fox, what does it mean? Is the airplanes above during the war? I want to go back to 1945. I want to go back to the era of the spirit, 1919. I got to go back to the beginning of the 20th century. Is that when the 1900s started, when the war came in and Hitler? Who was up at bats? Who was up at bats? Why did they call him Hitler? Because it has to do with the connection to the terre earth, leur meaning her, le la in French. You got to break it up through language. God said it is the word, you know. It is the word. I'm telling you. And watch out for the water, because the water could turn red. Red on you. The water floated Noah to the top, and everybody else around that part of the world drowned. Did they say flood? Did they say they're going to flood the world? What did they actually say in Noah? Because maybe they didn't flood the world. Maybe some of the islands stood higher than the waters. Maybe some of the islands. How do you know some of the islands don't rise when the tides go up? Because maybe the tides aren't going up. Maybe if everything rose, the islands rose above it. For the islands that rose. But the islands that are connected, right? There must be a place somewhere where it's a tree. It's all rooted, right? And it's connected right into the bottom. Some of them rise and some of them don't. Do you know? Do you exactly know how many islands need to rise if everything flooded? So we have these shapes. We have the water. Moses split the waters. Did he split the waters? He made a division. He put an open path. Jesus baptized with John, but it's John baptizing Jesus. John versus Yeshua or Jesus, the word I know. So when you say John, I gotta go to the John. Could be for number 1. Could be for number 2. I don't know. 1 and 2 are separate. They're never the same. You see, in that instance, 1 and 2 are separate. 1 could be the numeric value for the dot in Morse code. 2 can be 2 dots. How does one dot get to the other dot? Is the dot another home or part of a home? Because the other part of Morse code is a bar. And can you give the bar value 2 and the dot value 1? So I want to look at something right now. We're going to look at something. I just reset my pen. My pen's up over here. Pen, scissors, screwdrivers. So if I used that right over there, right? And you see, this is the way they were doing Morse code. So that would mean my line would have to be 3 separate areas. Right. Now, if I was doing Morse code this way, and I would do like that. If I had to put 1 bar in between these 2, wouldn't this bar be the one going over here normally? Or do I be putting, do I have to do this way? Because in the Morse code design, it's not like this. In the Morse code design, there's a space. But should it actually be like this? Or should we have a bridge? Maybe this comes with a bridge. Maybe we can take 1 dot, 2 dots, 3 dots, and 1 dot. You see, according to what I know, this is what I have to do. Now, what does anybody know this design? 1, 2, 3, empty space, 4, empty space, 5, empty space, 6, 7, 8. 8 days a week. Do I connect these all together? Do I leave bridges, or is it 8 days a week? 192 hours must be condensed. I'm going to skip over this and show you this only at the next video. This is just a waker upper. I just saw it right now. Or for you know what? You're already here. Let you be an advantage over the people who have dropped the video by now. Condensed. Okay. Condensation, condensed. Now what happens? Why do I say condensed? And what do I do with these three over here? Equaling to 11. Okay, I can say that this area over here, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as 2 and 3, right? I can also take this and remove this dot over here in another situation, but I'm going to leave it right now. Okay, over here is another space, and here's another thing. So that would be number 8, and this would be number 9. After number 9, okay, and now we would be talking maybe Chaldean, because the 9 is in a void spot. We can maybe connect these. Do I get to connect this one over here? Okay, and then I have to do another 3, which is the minimum. Okay, so now we take the 8 days, and we got to crunch it into 7 days. So we have to take 192 and get, we have to take 192, okay, and it's got to divide by 7, divided by 7. So we have 2, we have 14. When it stops, because I put it on pause, it showed 2 lines and they were white. When I started, it goes red. And I don't want this to stop. I don't want this to stop. Water and blue. When you put a little bit of water on black, when you wipe it off of your skin, whatever goes through it, it seems to turn out to be a slight color of a grayish blue. Okay, let us get back to this video. You don't want to lose the flow. You don't want to lose the flow in your body. You don't want to lose the flow in the race. You don't want to lose the flow when you're in a good zone, when your rhythm is there, when everything's working out just right. And then, boom, you arrive home from work. Boom, the race is over. Boom, the game is over. The hype of going into the hand, we're going to win the game and it's coming up, and then it's over. And it's lingering on. Is it still lingering on in you? That good vibration? Aren't you feeling so good that the bad vibrations that lingered on inside of you, that were destroying your body and your mind? You couldn't do anything. You didn't want to do anything, but you can do something. You have to choose. While your mind is at a loss, your body can be at a gain. Bringing your body to a gain and filling them inside, you can override what is mentally disturbing you in your head. You have to momentarily, for the period of time, to make it through from one area, and it is not easy. So you fight it. You find any crick or crack that's your excuse to work yourself back up. Except you can't resort to just smoking and drinking alcohol. Because the alcohol has another effect. It's a fallback effect to fall into another zone, to cut you off from thinking, or thinking too much. So we want to break down what we were doing right now. We want to bring 192 hours to a number. There's 2 numbers we have to understand here. One is pi, which is 22, I think I remember, divided by 7. Is that what it is? But anyways, I don't want to get onto that right now. That's another mathematical equation. We're going to get on to, oh yeah, for those of you who are here for the first time, oh my God, there's the elephant. You know what? You know how I drew that elephant in the open sun? You see the sun behind him, and here, where's the elephant? The elephant's right there. There's the eye of the elephant. And the man with the brain is right over here. The man with the brain. And the bear the trader and the bull, the bear, the bull, and the trader, tweeting out the tweets, lying in his bed, waiting to get onto the cross, or the cross that's shooting oil, or over for a better thought, as down in this corner is the 10 Commandments. See them over there? Let me see if I can get that. And there they are, the 10 Commandments on the ceiling. We have further on, we have, let me see if I can get this right here. That's more or less the upside down fleur-de-lis. Different ways to create star system fleur-de-lis. So we're going to get back to the numeric value of 192 hours into 7 days. Okay, and that's 27.43 hours a day. And that calculation ends up telling me a different story because that's the cycle of the moon. 27.43 is the cycle of the moon. 7 days equaling to this figure over here. And then we have everything else in our time schedule, right? Off days, on days, working days, not working days, that our minds can never catch up to what it never loses at the end, because in the leap year, we bring it all back to the same thing. And it seems like the whole world seems to run on that leap year at different periods of time during the year, right? Let me just put this back here and speak to you. I mean, the Hebrews, between, I think it's what, 354 and 384 days? And 384 is significant. All the numbers are significant. They're all going to do something. They're all going to reach a word with the same number, a phrase with the same number, relevant, not relevant. How many words in the phrase? Should we be into phrases when right now we're working on the conjunctual word? I don't want to say how Earth was built. I can tell you what happens to a seed. I'll look it up, and this is what happens to the seed. And this is the elements. So if I went back to the beginning of time, we don't want to tell the beginning of time. We want to break it down so that when you look, when you can't see the molecule, we want to make the molecule this big. So you can see actually how all the conjunction of the basics went together in order to create what's bigger. You see the baby, it's growing, but you really can't figure out how that baby's growing. Where does the mind come from? Are we really in a star system? How does everything remember? In the air, my friends, in the air, my friends, area space is occupied with something or another. You find something, how is it made? It's occupied. That area space is an element of the planet. Element of nature, a creation from nature. Broken, oh my, look, I found a big rock. Oh, look. All of that particle element came together, solidified. Now it's a rock. Oh, look at me. I'm water. I'm all over the place. But I'm not a rock. So I don't have some of the elements of being a rock. But I can still cut sharply if you get me and a lot of buddies. I drop one rock on you, I can break your toe. I can dump some water on you and break your toe if I precision that water and get a little help from my air and fire. Everything made to work in conjunction. So by putting this together and showing you the 8 days, we're going to go back to the 8 days over here. Right? And I'm just using the Morse code dot and line, thinking about maybe I should just put them all in a row and try to understand. You know, you have, first you have, let's say you have Friday, then the day off would be Saturday, and then this would be Sunday. Why would Monday be a day off? Or is it, how does it want to be? Does it want to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? We have to remember, Earth number is 5 and 2. So you have 5 weekdays and 2 days on the weekend, 5 and 2. Or you have Monday, Tuesday, and Sunday. You have Wednesday as the middle of the day, and you got Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. This is an equation, and it's going to fit somewhere else. There's going to be another reason for this working out this way, somewhere in another calculation. Not only is 25 value of a quarter, not only is it 5 times 5 equals 25, not only is the 2 and the 5 the opposite on the dice, creating 7. You multiply it and you add it and you minus it, okay, or you add it, 17 or minus 7 equals to a 14 or 20. There's equations that reach into this 14 and 20, or let's just stop it over here at 17. 1 times 7, 1 plus 7 is 7 and 8. So now I have two numbers. So what am I going to do with this 3? 7 times 8 is 56. 7 plus 8 is 15. The total of this, 71. We begin again. You minus it. It's 41. D and A is your 41. You're 5 and 4 into the sun, into the foxhole. Telling a story just because. Number 25, the days of the week. 25. The L and the M, the 12th and the 13th letter. Or the reverse alphabet, where I think it's the N is the 13th letter, and the O. 15 and 12, 14 and 13, 27. O and N, 15 and 14, the beginning of your pi. 17 becomes 17 again. Here's your DNA. 7 and 8 equals to 15, the numeric value for Mars. So we had 14 and 20, now we have 15 and 56. This will equal 34 and 6, and these are my 2 cube creations. 6 times 4, 6 plus 4. Equals 34, or the numeric value for 1. The numeric value for 6 is 52. The total is 86. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4. That's your communication. What did I get? 1 and 6 is 7. What is the numeric value for 1? 34. 3 and 4 is 7. What is the numeric value for 6? 5 and 2. So now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So you're always building on something. So here's your 8 days a week. So what if your 7 days, okay, were actually condensed into 28-hour days? 28-hour days. 28 times 6 is 168. 6 and 8 again. 6 and 1 is 7. 78. So there's 168 hours in a week. 8 and 6 is 14, so you have 1 and 14. 1 and 6 is 7, you have 7 and 8. Back to the same equation. I like to call this the pigs. 3 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days. 4, 1, 1, 4. 3, 3, 3, the pig's pregnancy. Do I go on a video where, for now, I can stop my mind from going, even though I don't want to, when you're on the path? And as you go up and down the tree, you see different relationships because you've worked them before, or you worked the number. And I keep coming out to the same relationship or numeric value because my glossary is very small at my choice of words. I could spread them out and go to funeral or religion or God or queen or priest or any of the colors. I know most of the colors. God is 26. Devil is 52, twice God. Queen is 62. Rabbi is 32. Priest is 87. Priest Allah is 26. Allah is also 14 with one L. Take away 12 is 14, your DNA. Allah is 1, 12, 12, 1. Allah is 1, 3, 3, 1 or 1, 6, 1 equaling to the half-life. 2, 6 automatically shows you must have 1, 6. Why? Because 2 goes nowhere without the 1 at the heart. According to cards, according to the cube, according to what man's creation shows us on this planet, and you show me different, according to this, okay, they put the 2 on each side. Here's how the 2 comes in games. Here's how the 1. Show me a different kind of dice used professionally around the world, and we will have the answer of another realm. You take out the deck of cards. You look for the number in the deck of cards. You can see the 5 card and what happens to the 4 card. You can see what happens to the 6. You can see what happens to the 7. Okay, I'm just looking for a number. You can see what happens to the 3 card. You can see what happens to the 2 card. All right. Now, do we have an ace? We're gonna look at this and just show you. Okay, around the world. Imagine around the world, the complete globe that we live on, and how everything matches up to that numeric value. So, should we say different? I found an ace. So let me put this down. We have the 2 without the ace in the center. The cube. Where's my cube? The cube. I don't have, oh, this is the cube. Is telling me it's on the corners. So if it's on the corners, I have to take the cube and set it up this way. It's on the corners. That means my square or my world is on that angle. It's telling me. I'm not telling it. It's telling me. Our greatest creators of the greatest games in the world. And one game starts with the deck of cards. The other game starts where you use this. These are the games of the world by the masterminds making millions and billions of dollars. Okay, entertaining and taking time from people. And when you take time and change the order of things, you're changing the order of things because of the cards and the dice. I'll continue this video in the next video. Raphael, 7286, Constellation of Pegasus. Or should I not? Let somebody jump forward to this part. The design of the cards and what you can do geometrically and why. We have to have an understanding of why. So we take this card and we take this card. But why is this card so different? Hold on a second. You notice we have 4 in all the cards. We have 4 in all the cards. From 4 till 10. When you add up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you will add a total, okay, of 55 dots. But the ace will be in the 2 card, right? The 4 only starts at the 4, so you lose 1, 2, 3, you lose 6. There's a total of 49. Now the ace is in the 2 card, but the 2 card doesn't show up anywhere in the deck, but the ace does, so we're going to save the 2 card. We're not going to save the 3 card because the inside of the 3 card ends up in the 9 card. Here's the 9 card, here's the 2 card. I don't need the 3 card because that ace is showing up right here in the 9, so we'll get rid of it. So I go ahead and I put the 4 card in here, but I don't keep the 4 card, okay, because the card right after that is holding the 4 and is holding the ace. So really I don't need the 5 because the 5 is inside the 9. I can keep the 6. There's no other card like the 6 unless I come to the 7. I no longer need the 6. I have the 7, but I no longer need the 7 because those 2 dots in the center take away that dot, 7 and 8. Here's my 7, here's my 8. Or do I keep it? Telling you the gateway to the heavens and the other side of the moon is right here through 8. So we need 7 and 8, but for now we'll drop the truth and we're going to drop the 7, just showing you here's how it moves over to the next gateway. We don't need the 4. Is this the 4? Hold on a second. Don't need the 4 because the 4 is still in the 8 and everywhere else, right? We have 2, 8, and 9. We don't have the 10 card. I'm not going to explain the 10 card right now. But if you look up on the wall, I don't know if you can see the license plates at the end. 928, 289, 928. You don't really see it. You're not up there. But I'm telling you the truth. I wouldn't be lying. 9 times 8, 72. 9 and 8, 17. We now have the 1 and 2 together in 17 and in 27. 9 by 2 is 18. 2 by 8 is 16. 18, 1 and 8, 9, 6 and 1, 7. We have 7 and 9. That is the birth. 7 times 9, 63. See how we used up all the numbers? We used up 6 and 3. We used up 2, 9 and 8. We end up with the 7. 9 times 8, 72. We used up those 2 numbers. So now we used up, let's not get into that. We're left with these 3. 9 by 8 is 72 by 2, 144. 2 by 8 is 16. 16 by 9, 144. 9 times 6 is 54, the sun. 9 times 1 is 90. and 54, and that is the birth in the sun. 90 can only be comprised of which season has 90 days, telling us another story. There are 4 months of 30 days, although all the 12 months, except for 1 month, there's 11 months that have 30 days in it. There are 7 months that have 31 days in it. There's 13 months that have, there's 12 months that have 28 days. There's 11 months that have 29 days. Do you follow what I'm saying? Because the number, it doesn't end on that day. So that's your deck of cards, and that's the way things match up. So we were back to, let me take this out for a second. We were starting with the Morse code and the dot, what a value of this line can be, and we got to 8. And at what point can we end the 7 days a week? Well, can we do it this way? 1 day and 1 day is 2, and then 3 is 5, and then 1 is 6. 1, the day ends here, the week. I'm trying to figure out where the week ends. So we start the week here on this day. This one is the bridge that intertwines all the other days. So we're just going to use the straight numbers as 8. We start Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all combined. How would we move this forward? I really should stop right here because I'm asking myself that question. 3 days, 1 day, 3 days, 1 day. Instead of the 2 dots, we're going to go 3 days, 1 day on this. I have to continue this even though most are gone. I'm going to have to do 3 days and then 1 day and then 3 days and then 1 day. So if I started here, where would my 5 days a week be? If I started here on a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then this one would be Sunday. So this one would be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. This would be Thursday, and this would be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So Saturday and Sunday would come together over here. And then you'd have to do it again as 1 day. This would be Monday. This would be Tuesday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and this would be Friday. And this would be Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And this will be Tuesday. And this will be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and this will be Saturday. And then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday would start here. So you would need 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1. This is a Saturday. So you have 3 and 1 and 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 3 and 1. Not sure if I should repeat what I did, but I'm going to do this and then go on to the next video. So the total number before the next day is the beginning, is the 29th. It starts over. 1 equals to the 29th, next 3 and 1. Do you remember what I did? Now if we started on a Saturday, but what happens if I started with a 1 dot and started on the Saturday, the day of rest? Do you follow what I'm saying? If I starting on a Sunday, okay, inside my 3 days, what if I started on the God's day of rest and started on the Saturday? Okay, so we had 3, 1, 3, 1 all the way to there were 7 by 3, 21. 7 by 1, 7. So we have these two equations here, and we have the cycle of the moon and the 29th day. I can also go 10 and 8 equaling to 31 and 15. And there's all kinds of equations. I'm not going to get into them now. Right now we're just into how many days. Now we're going to work out if it starts on a Saturday. So I'm going to resume the video. So I went over that if I started on a Saturday on God's day off, then I went Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay, then I went Thursday. Okay, and here I started Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Here I started on the Saturday. Here I started on the Sunday. My repeat was over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Don't count this. This is Saturday again. So it's the same thing. 7 times 1 day, 7 by 3. So you have 7 and 21. Chicken hatches in 21 days. Here, you would end up with 4, 5. See, there's a calculation in this. It's 1, 4, 5, 8, 9, 12, 13, 16, 17, 20, 21, 23, 24, sorry, 24, 25, 28, 29th you would start over. Repeat. At the same time you can go 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. And then you can go all your singles, different equations, 3, 6, 9, multiply and add, multiply and add, multiply and add, see what else is coming on compared to the over here. What it added up, nothing starts until your 9th day birth, the 8 heaven, the 9 birth, nothing starts till over here, alpha beta creation, 3 and 3. And then over here you would end up with 3, 4, 7, 8, 11, 12, 15, 16, 19, 20, 23, 24, 27, 28. And you can also do this backwards. So you have everything starting here at 11 and everything on the other side at 12. But these are both any craps. You see the way we have 12 repeating over here also? So we can't start actually until what would be 12 and 12. Maybe it matches, so that's a pair. Maybe that carries on. We have Mars and the Moon. We have the half-life and the spirit. We have the gateway through Mars, beta location, 37. This is inside the cube, 37, 37, 37, 111, 666. And then everything else will start giving us 52 is your Earth, 24 and 28. But anyways, this is irrelevant. Now we have these sections of 5 and 2. How many? 5, 2, 5, 2, 5, 2 is just a continuous repeat. Monday to Friday, Monday to Friday. 5 days a week and 2 days a week. But where is it repeating in here? The 5 days. Here's my 5 days. I don't have any 2 days anywhere. Should I have a setup of 2 days for a dot? There are no dots. Should I have that setup of 5 and 2? So I would be doing this differently. This rotates into the moon. And it'll always, if you notice, it matches up 16 and 16, 12 and 12, 8 and 8. Here you have 1, 4, 5 equaling to the sun. This numeric value, I think, equals to the diameter of the moon, the sun and the moon. 1458 is the silver matrix. This one is Mars, this one is cycle, the freezing point, beta creation. 3 by 7 is the cube. 5 by 4 is the birth. 5 by 8 is 40, the blue world. 9 by 8 is 72. It's your one part of your full day, 720 minutes. It also gives you when a big red sun. Anyways, there's just a ton of things that I know because of just the word value definition. And we're just going to end it here. I'm not sure what I left out. We went over the pigs, we went over the day, we went over the cycle of the moon, the planetary system and the lineup. I need to set up some kind of programmation where I can put all these realities, numeric realities, and then we can go into the dictionary and say, this is what I want to pick from, and then go in and pick the numeric value from this part of the dictionary and see if anything matches up. Words and definitions. Raphael, good morning, 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. That's all off the top of my head at the present moment that this video was done. No preparation needed. Thank you for watching this video. Or was there?